Welcome to the Polishing Profits Podcast, where we discuss all things related to the business of detailing. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, this podcast is for you. In each episode, we'll cover topics ranging from business management to marketing solutions. Here to help you grow your detailing business, your hosts, Nick and Dustin.
All right, we're back.
What up? What up? Look at us back in the flesh, but like
Yes.
virtual, but still sort of. I feel close. Still feel
Yeah.
close.
Yeah. You know, it carries on. It carries on. The
Yeah.
connection carries on. So,
Why are
as
you
long as
so
we
much?
get that
Look how
in a
much
few
taller
times
you
here.
are than me with this. Hold on, I gotta zoom out.
Hey, look, this is one time in my life I get to be taller.
Look at this. This is crazy. This is insane.
Great
Oh
job,
my god.
Chris. Chris is always looking out for me. He's always
Oh
looking out.
my
We're gonna have
God.
to rearrange that.
I'm like
that,
zoomed in and like just 3 inches shorter than Dustin, which is just not true. Which is
We
just,
gotta redo the intro where it says Dustin and Nick, not Nick and Dustin.
I know Dustin hears that every day. He's like, wait a minute. Wait a
How did
second.
that happen? Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
How great was MTE, Dustin? How great
it
was that?
Oh man, it was awesome. Such an amazing experience.
Yeah.
Actually, hang on one second. Such an amazing experience. Getting to carry my guys down there for the first time was really
Yeah.
cool. And then also, of course, having A-Peaks there was cool. First time we've been presence as that owner.
Yeah.
As that owner, as the owners. And so talking PPFs, talking tint, talking coatings, talking software.
Yeah.
And talking detailing.
Yeah, that's exciting, man. That's so fun. And then, of course, you got a little something there on your desk, right?
Yeah,
Just a little
I mean,
smudge
I
at
got
the
this
bottom corner there.
This
Yeah.
beautiful thing here, plaque provided by the IDA for Operation of the Year that we took home.
Congratulations, well deserved. I mean, that's something where if you're watching and you're trying to put together an operation, because that's just a great. It used to be called what?
It was Detail Shop of the Year and then
Yeah.
Mobile Detailer of the Year, and they combined that to call it Operation of the Year.
Yeah.
And I love that. I actually really like the name of it because detailing is. I mean, Detail Shop of the Year kind of seems smaller. Operation of the Year sums us up as a whole, I think.
And operation is just so many different parts to it, right?
There
It takes everything to have a well-run operation. You could be the best detailer and not have marketing, or be a great marketer, but you don't. I mean, you're not able to have the staff to grow. So yeah, no, that's amazing, Dustin.
Such an honor. Yeah, our team did an amazing job. I'll tell you. So we had a conversation at the beginning of this year, and our goal in 2025 was to really push hard to get this.
Yeah.
And so we had a conversation about that. And
what's going on, Billy?
What's up, Billy? Chris, can you expand my screen out over here?
You can just put me in the corner. You know what I mean?
And so our goal was to shoot for that in 2025.
Yeah.
But what happened? We got nominated, and so then was like, okay, guys, we're a year ahead of where we thought we would be. And then of course Billy Smith, him popping in here, he was nominated. His shop was nominated as well. And there was another guy in Canada. I can't remember the name of that shop that was nominated. Very Owner's Pride. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very qualified shops. I mean, to be competing and with my brother Billy Smith and to be right there.
That's what it's about. You know what I mean? That means
absolutely. And it was cool because it was at first it was like it's hard to celebrate because it's your friend.
Yeah.
And he was so cool about it. He's like, no man, you deserve this. You do you. Don't worry about this. And so that kind of allowed me to acknowledge it a little bit more.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. Now MTE wrapped up. Everybody's back home traveling. Mike is somewhere on a road. You know what I mean? What is that like? What is that like?
Jet lag.
Getting back home.
We were down there for 9 days, and I was just texting with Jordan Lee, and she said, "Hey, so I was texting with Anthony the other day, and it's kind of felt a little rundown. I wasn't hitting my normal routine. My Achilles has been messed up, so I'm missing my runs in the mornings.
Yeah.
And I finally got back out there today, and so I was feeling a little rundown, a little out of my sync. And so she was texting me. She said, "Hey, sorry, you're kind of feeling down." I said, "Well, I'm not feeling down. I feel run down." And so a little bit of jet lag. I know Mike's feeling it majorly. He's dealing with some family stuff too. So it's get back to work. I mean, this is the last day of the week for the full week, and And I tell you, it feels like this week's been 20 days long, and it has been from can to cane. So
yeah. Now, obviously, not everybody stayed down there 9 days, and had trainings, had presentations, set up 17 booths like the Dustin Jackson. For me, though, it gave me such a jolt. You know what I mean? Now, again, I did spend a little time with family down there.
Sure.
But the MTE, talking with people, connecting with people, I always come back re-energized. I come back with more energy.
And some new perspective. Some new perspective. You go to these classes and you hear other people talking about things we need to do, and and if you really let it soak in, it opens your eyes to things that are going on, because we get in the grind. We get to our day-to-days, and like, it's rare that we think big picture of our operations. Generally, we're rabbit hole kind of thoughts, and you go to a show like that and you're really hearing people talk big picture, and it gives you a moment to say, like, oh man, are we really doing that here, or is that what we do here, and how can I make changes?
And again, I think it's been such a productive week because there's two parts to it, right? It's everything that when you're there you take in from MTE, and then it's everything, because again, we did stay, we were operating, we were actually extremely busy when I was gone, and then how did that go, right? And going back in time, I had a conversation with every single person in my office and said, hey, the good, the bad, the ugly, let me know. I asked my top guy, give me who could you not have gone this week without, right? Who stepped up while I was gone and who didn't?
Oh, I love
what I mean? And again, actual names, specifics, what happened, who did what, was amazing. Was just
what a great idea. I love that.
It was your idea. You told me, right?
Yeah, it sounded really familiar, actually. No, that's a great idea. I mean, I don't think I've ever thought to come back and kind of check in. Outside, I'm usually like apprehensive to ask.
Because
if I go by
the theory, don't tell me.
No news is good news.
No news is good news.
But it shouldn't be the case, right? That shouldn't be the case. We should be receptive of the good and the bad, like you said,
And you know what's funny is I came back with, again, tell me if I'm wrong, a big theme this year at MTE was elevating the service, the customer experience was, you know what I mean? Like, I think we took out a lot of good stuff from this year on that note. Go ahead.
It's so weird that everybody's resounding message was customer relationships.
It was echoing from the walls. I don't know where Chris was, but Chris was like just talking about giving people free coffees left and right.
We never, it wasn't like, the people putting classes together got together and was like, hey, we're going to
just this
resounding message of customer service or building relationships. But I swear to you, Rennie, Joel, Chris,
yourself,
Jason, myself. I mean, literally,
know their name, know their pain. Guess what? Came up in those meetings with my customer service side.
Did you really?
100%. I said, listen, I'm gonna same thing that the Dustin Jackson did. I'll give you 110% credit. I want to walk in, point at the details, say who is that and what's their pain point.
Yes,
that's it. Why are they here?
Yep.
You know what I mean? And if we can't do that, then I can't have you there.
That's
you know what I mean? In that position.
Dude, in my shop every morning. I mean, and we go vehicle by vehicle, and it's beat into them, because that's the relationship. It is not an F-350 2024 F-350. That is Mr. Smith and Mr. Smith's, spilled the spaghetti in the back seat. Like that's Mr. Smith's. That's the problem. And
you always use Smith, and it just makes me think of Billy.
I never thought about that.
I'm like, what? Billy had that scratch on his car from his dog. You know what I mean? And Billy's now got spaghetti in the back seat.
I'm not creative enough to come up with another name.
Any other name,
poor Mr. Smith in my presentation, he gets ragged.
I wanted to the second part of that meeting, right, was I told every single person, 2024, let's look back for a minute. Yeah. I failed you guys. I did not set that expectation high enough. If we want to grow and we want to be a better operation, it starts from me. Yeah. So it's like, hey, I want to apologize first and foremost, because in 2025, that's not going to fly. I'm going to take that ownership, and I'm going to tell, told every single person that if you want to be here and you want to grow, we're going to do it together.
Man, I love that. Yeah. I love that. Inclusive. I had a conversation with the guys this morning, and about this tent and film, and there's really one person kind of stepping up.
Yeah.
And I said, and I flat out told him, and it'll probably be in a video you'll see this week, and I said, listen, you want to keep detailing? What you're making is what you'll make.
Yeah.
If you want to make more money, if you want to grow in your career, and you want to do more, here's the groundwork for that. Here's the roadmap.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to tent. You got to learn how to PPF. All the detailers this will be your wage from now on.
Yeah.
So if you like it, stick there. Be great at that, but just know that it ain't coming up from there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Because what happened was I feel like I'm having to push this thing along.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be that way.
Madison
said that was a pretty nice looking presentation. Yes, it was, Madison. Great job.
Did
you get to see the end, Nick, where they did my
You skipped through those last 4 slides so fast because you were there talking French fries and what else? Know their name, know their
pain. I know I added stories in that I probably gonna have to cut back because I don't
maybe ready for this next week. What if we give everybody that little presentation, a little duo presentation?
Love that. I posted. I did have it up there, and I told the guy I left it up there. They saw it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what was the last one. Well,
the one on the dry race.
Should we wait? Okay.
Yeah, the dry race board. That's all I'll say.
Oh yeah. No, I saw it. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. And so because I stopped the class and I was like, wait a minute. I didn't skip the slides, Madison. I didn't. But we were in a hurry because I ran out of time, and so I said, "Okay, there's one slide that you have to see. Nobody move, nobody leave."
Yeah.
And I showed it. I said they wanted to put this in here, so.
But next year you're gonna let us do a little more Q&A, right? You're gonna.
Oh, we have to. I've got to cut some of the chunk out of the middle.
Yeah.
And leave 10 minutes Q&A.
Yeah.
That presentation will get better and better. That was my first
take.
time to do it.
We'll let it slide. It's the first time, but next year we're going to come at you pretty hard.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover there, so we're going to chunk it out, and so that could really be like a 2-hour presentation. And speaking of 2 hours, we are doing a SEMA garage training in March 19th.
Yeah,
21st.
I saw that.
For IGL is going to do paint correction and gel coat correction and coatings, and then APEX is going to do a 3-day beginner PPF class.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But both classes are going to get to sit in a 2-hour presentation, a business class. And I think that Joel LaPalma is going to be there giving it with me as long as I get to create the outline.
What's going on, Brandon?
Me and him talk about it. What's up, Brendan? How you doing, brother? Yeah. So
what do you mean by that? What do you mean? Why do you have to make the outline versus Joel?
No, he could do the outline as long as we have a outline. I was talking to him in a meeting, and I was like, I know you like to go rogue, and I have no problem with that. But I was like, let's give us a path at least to go down. Because him and I both get off track, right? We'll both be, I'll go this way and he'll go this way, and then it's it's a little bit of that, and we.
But you always sort of meet at the end there.
What's that?
We can
try to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't all be all stars and presidents. Man, I heard you killed yours, Chris. I didn't get to see it. I was in Joel's because he needed me to play a slide. I was going to come see yours.
You messed it up too, Dustin. You messed up the sound. It was remember?
I know I did. And I had everything sitting there ready to go, and it just
you should have just played APEX. That little video the whole time in the beginning.
I know, right? The APEX.
So you know what Chris does, right? Is now I have to wait a week to see that presentation, and he's going to edit out some good parts. Did you see what he posted?
Yeah, I saw that. I really
very
liked
frustrating.
That.
Yeah. So now I got to wait a week.
See Chris's either. Man, his was heartfelt. I loved the energy that Chris had right then. When I do my presentation, I try to put a lot of heart and soul in it and energize. And I saw Chris really shining through on that, and I love that.
He's walking from the clips. He's walking down the aisles.
Yeah, that's.
Sarah's like, I'm hiding behind a notebook so Chris doesn't call on me.
Yeah, I know. Joel called.
This just puts everybody on blast.
Yeah, Joel called a few people out on his. It was funny.
That's the way you got to do it, man. That's awesome. But you know what's funny about Joel's is the people that because of the other industries he worked in, right?
Yes.
And understanding the connections, the weave of business of, that's taking those and making those connections with other industries and taking different little pieces and bits and what would work for you is just an amazing skill that he has, and something
it's unbelievable. And, getting to work with him through this APEX deal, so I've been friends with Joel for a long time, but I've never worked side by side with him. Me and him just talked all the time, but in about broad business, but we never worked on the same team.
Yeah.
And this APEX has really opened my eyes to the depth and that he brings. He brings true value in sales and experience. It's incredible to watch him engage and build like connections. Like he's a master at it. And he will have you buying from him if you don't even need it. Like, you'll be like, you'll enter
He's
into
the definition of selling ice to an Eskimo.
He really is, man. And but he make you feel good about it too. And
coming back for more.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, and to have him as the president, kind of over all of the Americas. We use him. We go to him when we have things that we need for here, and it's awesome.
One other thing I want to throw post MTE sort of discussion is like you go to all these booths, you're getting all these business cards, all these little samples, all these different things.
Yeah.
I always challenge myself, put a 2-week window to accomplish what you wanted to accomplish from MTE, because then you got to get back to work. You're not going to get to that business card in 3 months.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So I went through all those different things, whether it was auto fiber, setting up an account, whether it's, looking at whatever other little processes we wanted to improve in the business.
Correct.
This is the week to do it. I told my guys, hey, I'm going to be in the office. I'm working. I'm here, whatever you need, did all my meetings, and I need to get through doing all these things, at least planting those seeds so that I can at least get back to them in a timely manner.
That's your return on investment. That's the reason for going. You get those deals. Now you get a good account set up with Ian, and now you're getting towels at a discounted rate. You got a better supply. You're gotten the benefits of that, and that offsets the cost of the travel. That offsets the.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Polish and Profits cut you a pretty big check for that podcast, but
I still, what's funny is, again, I know we were an exhibitor there. I didn't know if we were actually exhibitors. I paid. I got my education day paid. I was going there to learn, and it's almost just the sunk cost. We're just excited to be there. And if we had 2 name tags, we'll take 2 name tags. We're happy about it.
That's right. Well, next year you can come in under the platform.
Wait till you see our booth next year, right?
We have something coming.
Man. We got something for Polish and Profits. I think we're actually going to have business cards.
Huh?
Business cards that links right to our YouTube or Spotify.
Yeah, something for all this hard
work. Where are we
streaming
again? Where can you find us?
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Where all can you find us, Chris? YouTube, right?
Live Fridays at 11:30.
Yeah.
Sometimes 11:35, depending if Dustin, gets there on time.
Hey, I've been doing good. I've been doing good for like 7 months.
Yeah, I know. You've been on it. Whether you're in a car, plane, train,
right? Oh, next week I'll be in Nashville.
Okay.
So I'll be shooting it from. There's a little bar area where right outside of where the trade show is. So I'll probably post up in there and shoot it from there.
Yeah. In terms of after MTE, anything else from your perspective in terms of what you specifically wanted to bring back? You know what I mean? You have a little bit of a different point of view than just the average person that's going there. Anything else you really wanted to bring back?
So obviously, connections within APEAKS and IGL is important to us.
Yeah.
And so following up with all the relationships that were built there, the bigger distributors that came to us and wanted to do business with us, we've created some orders for them.
Yeah.
So making sure that those business deals happen and they don't fall through the cracks, that's really first and foremost.
Yeah.
And then second, content that we get from this stuff, like traveling to these events and being able to use that content to build engagement with our audience. That's big for us.
Yeah.
It also, so the first time ever we took our detail shop down, and it really showed those guys the size and scope of our industry. Where they've been in, they don't see that. They work in this shop every day, and to them, detailing is this shop and maybe the shop down the road. You know what I mean? Like that's detail.
And that's what you're comparing off of. And again, that's why when you go to something like MTE, if you didn't go this year, make it a priority to go, because it's the smallest, tightest knit conference there is right now.
Dustin could be on the moon and still.
Yeah, he might not have the best signal, but again, because it's such a tight knit community, plan to go next year. I think it's just gonna keep growing and getting bigger. I don't know where else they're gonna have to find another convention hall.
Yeah, well, they're going back. They're going back to where it was. Was it the Rosenshingle, I think? a few years ago, so they're going back there, and it is bigger.
Okay.
Mike, MTE blew me away, man. It really is. It's cool. It's a cool experience to see everybody you've been talking to, and meet everybody in person. There's still so much value in eye to eye handshakes and personal connection. You can only do so much digitally through email and
ask yourself this: where with those boots you made a personal connection with, right? Because there's some that you did, and again, I walked through a lot of boots, and some that did not know how make that effort. No fault of their own.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which ones are you going to call? You know what I mean? That's it. It's just that simple. Which ones do you remember talking to? Who do you remember speaking with? Who made an impression? Sometimes it's not even them trying to. It's just the professionalism, whatever their message is. What stuck with you 3 days, 1 week later, and that's someone you want to do business with and get that ball going.
Yeah, I'll tell you what was special to us, the ambassador team for IGL.
Yeah, they were in bright green. Couldn't miss them.
Man, they handled that booth from setup to tear down to all the middle. That allowed Mike and myself to spend some time in Apex.
Mike did such a good job supervising because that team put it up.
Mike doesn't do anything.
That team put it up so fast. You know what I mean? We
gotta analyze it. We gotta really look into what Mike does at these things. I think he goes and finds somewhere to hang out while we're setting up.
Yeah, I was really sad. I was gonna do some PPF with Mike, and I couldn't find him.
He's scared that you were going to take his title for best cutter.
Best cutter, yeah. So
he wouldn't compete with me again. He says he's holding the title, and he'll decide when
he wants to challenge somebody. So careful. There's a lot of Apex guys. I think we got an outroar. To contest that title.
Well, my email's full of applicants every day. People wanting to challenge him. He's just not doing it. So
the voices will get louder. I think it's the more we talk about it, the more people that are going to be messaging him to be like, hey, let's do a little PPF competition up there in SEMA Garage. I might make a drive over there if he agrees to it. You
have to drive over there. That's going to be a great
event. Not close. It's not close.
It's close. If he drove 21 hours to go to MTE, you can drive an hour.
Yeah, it's an hour away. You're right. It's right down the road.
So Joel said the real work starts now, and he's spot on. But I'm going to give you a little insight into something, and I pulled him to the side. We were walking at the end of the show, and I said, Joel, I need your help with something. He said, what's that? I said, we've been working on getting a distributor, and I'm like, we've been working on a couple deals. Let me rephrase that. And I said, okay, this is the point where I've had the conversation, but it's that after the fact, like, how do you get the sale? How do you convert it? Like, what's the next step? And he said, you don't worry about the sale. You just gotta keep building the relationship. Just keep communicating with them.
Hold on, slow it down. Say that one more time. Say that one more time, because that's a phenomenal way to put it.
You're right. So don't chase the dollar down, but chase the relationship down. Yeah. They need information from you. Get them the information, but continue that conversation that you were having, and then the sale will come to you. And he literally told me this. He said, you don't have to stress on that sale. What you need to do is just keep communicating with them, keep building that relationship, and that sale will unfold. You'll get what you need out of that, but don't sit here and go like, so I'm a very process, like step 1, step 2, step 3 person.
Yeah.
When it comes to like, okay, what's our next step? And he's like, it's not really like that. It's you got to just keep building the relationship. And he said, you see, and then he told me what he was going to do, and then he did it. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. And it was kind of like, I'll just kind of give you it was an announcement that he made. And then it was like he's using social media to build the connection still. And like, hey, we're doing this thing. So that brings them in, and now there's a slight obligation. It's like, okay, like, hey, we got to do some business. So, I mean, words of wisdom right out of the, right from the hip. Cause I told him, I said, to me, this is the point where like things can fall through the cracks with me is like that follow through next step and actually get it to convert. That's just me.
I don't know. Mike, tell me what sort of stood out to you. What blew you away from MTE? What is that thing that sort of is making you want to go back next year?
Yeah, I'll tell you what it was for me too. Some of the couple of cool things that I saw was the car candy booth. That was cool. They had ice cream. They were giving away cups of ice cream, so that blew me away.
I didn't get any ice cream. I talked to them over there. They had a product we were looking at too. That's on my list. They're on my list there.
Clark County's great, man. They've done a really, really good job. Anthony and Megan and I mean, heck, Mike Rhines. Now they just brought these people in and just really taken charge. And they make this Mike. That Mike. They've done a great job. So that was one of the things that was really cool. Rod and Jody, watching them as they bought Detail Bookie, and
I was really hoping they were. Yeah, I saw them there at the end. I missed them. I was hoping they'd be like right there next to us. That would have been really fun.
So that's going to happen. That was, I mean, this was already the MTE deal was done before they bought the company. We'd already bought the booth and all that stuff. So, so now next year they're going to have to. I'm sure they're going to work that out where they're beside each other and.
I want eventually, Dustin, we're going to have that whole row.
That's exactly what they said. If you go back, if you watch the podcast, they're like, we want to take this whole row up. Yeah. I'm like, well, we got to have more hands-on setup.
I was there, Dustin. We were there with our coffee.
You guys did amazing.
We were ready to rock. Cutting zip ties. It takes a village. It takes a village. Shout out Chris. Me and Chris were behind that screen, that wall of terror.
Wall of terror. Yeah, exactly.
Shout out Chris.
And shout out to the entire Ambassador crew. That's the truth, man. Yeah. Dude, it was phenomenal. And then you got the Apex team
that came to mind, Dustin.
What's that?
What about IGL ambassadors doing a sort of panel discussion next year for a presentation?
They do one every night in the Facebook Messenger group.
I know.
It's a panel discussion.
I think that's because again, you're getting all the people use the similar products, and then what's different between them could be a really cool sort of presentation.
Great idea. Yeah.
And we don't have to have another Dustin Jackson presentation.
Oh no, we gotta have that.
You'll be the moderator. You'll be there with a mic, and then I don't know. I think that'd be cool. It was your idea, but I want to throw it out there.
Yeah. I think you're just reiterating. The biggest thing was staying together out of my. The biggest thing was staying together out of my comfort zone. Things like MTE were always done with a little liquid courage. Hey, amen to that. Okay, I can speak to that in my 7 months of sobriety as well, and he's spot on.
Yeah.
So I mean, fortunately, like I've done other events, SEMA.
Yeah.
Fishing rodeo that we did down here, and so I've had some time to get used to that. But in a social setting like that, it usually revolves around alcohol.
Yeah.
And it's hard for that sobriety. It challenges sobriety.
Yeah.
And that's just it's a culture, and there's nothing wrong with it. But it is absolutely a culture. And when you're not drinking and everyone else is, there's a feeling of uncomfortableness that comes from it.
I think there's a natural feeling of uncomfortableness. Is that a word?
Yeah, uncomfortableness.
Uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's not, it is now.
At a convention, because the majority of people, probably all the people, if you're going your first time, you don't know anybody. You know what I mean? It's like you're going out there, you're putting yourself out there. Getting out of your comfort zone. I know we talked about that pre-MTE to really just make that decision and say, hey, I'm going to talk to everybody. I'm going to make a connection. So I think that's really cool. That's really hard to do.
There is Joel, great at it. Joel doesn't mean
it's fair to say most detailers who are phenomenal working on the cars, right? Their weakest point sometimes is dealing with the communication, the customer side.
Big time. Yeah, because you think about it. Usually,
hold on. We got to read the message. Just I feel better about it. You say it out loud.
I agree, Nick. Fantastic idea with the ambassadors, Lord.
But it doesn't say. I agree.
You
Nick
spelled Dustin wrong.
You spelled Dustin wrong.
No, people when they work. So like you got to think like you got salespeople generally, and you have people that work like. The physical work, and so detailers are typically owner operators that are used to putting their earbuds in and going to work, right?
Work
with our hands,
knocking it out, and doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, and you're right. Like there is usually a big difference between those two types of people. Yeah, and you put them in a setting where you got to socialize for an extended period of time, and it can be clunky.
Dustin, it's 72 hours straight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's not just an hour of going in and saying, hey, I can do this and jumping in. It's you're there for 72 hours.
That's Corey, man. He's awesome. Have you been seeing his videos coming out of the shop?
No. Oh, I have. Yeah, I have.
Bro, he is crushing it.
Yeah.
Crushing it.
I always want to know what's going on at EZN. What's in the shop today.
Series, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
He's doing good. Corey's excellent. Corey's great. I mean, our whole team's great. So hats off to them. All right, MTE talk. That's probably enough. Let's give IDA a shout out.
Yep.
Listen, there's always the people asking, what does the IDA do for me? And the typical response is, well, what do you do for the IDA, right? Like you get out of it what you put into it, but that's super vague.
Yep.
And like reality, it sounds a little like, the thing about the IDA is if you tell everybody, your customers and all, this thing of value, IDA to us as an industry is this big deal, right?
Yeah.
The customer now only knows that, and they believe that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, whether they go out and search for International Detailing Association to find their detailer, that's on them. But us as a shop, we're wanting to prop up our organization that we're a part of and say, hey, this is how we maintain standards. We get certified through the IDA.
Yeah.
We get awards through the IDA. They have resources for education. They do webinars all the time. They have a podcast. We have a Detailing Nearby where you can search and find me as an installer. They give us certifications, hands-on and online. So it's on us. It's not on the IDA for the end user, the customer, to understand what the IDA is. It's on the detailer to prop the IDA up as this is our organization that that maintains this level, right?
Yeah.
And that's why we are a member of that, and so that's how we find value in that.
Let me throw something, because I am not part of the IDA. And for again, something that we're definitely considering for this year is like, hey, you know what? It's such a big part of our community, but I see it almost from a different light. And tell me, I'd love, again, ignorant on the subject because I just haven't really looked into it too much. But I want to know, like, the way I see it is that constant level of improvement. Forget the customer, forget the detailers near me, forget all of that stuff. If you want to continue to improve business as a detailer, you know what I mean? I think, and surround yourself with the best people in the industry. That's where I see the value. Am I wrong on that?
No. The large majority of IDA is a network. It's a network of professionals that are in your industry solving the same problems that you're solving that you have access to.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you were to be a part of the planning meetings or in the committees and you saw the efforts that were spent to show our detailers just what the IDA does for them, the large majority of every meeting is saying, how do we continue to prove value to our members?
But isn't that just good to be around as a whole? Because usually if you're there, earbuds in, polishing paint, to take that time to join a committee, to do something like that, you're only going to elevate yourself. You know what I mean? You're only going to gain more knowledge and just continue to improve your business.
All right, I'm going to put it in perspective for you. People down here in Mobile and New Orleans have no problem joining a Mardi Gras organization.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they pay thousands of dollars to be in that organization. They pay another thousands of dollars to ride in the parade. What does that Mardi Gras organization provide for them? What value?
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay. You go and join a fantasy football league and you pay to get in it. What value does that bring to you? Nothing. It's entertainment, right?
Yeah.
It's not always these things that we join and do that should just be giving us back dollar for dollar, right? Sometimes it's networking, camaraderie.
Who brought up the Chamber of Commerce? At the MTE education, right? You get what you put into your local Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
If you go and you're just trying to extract value, well, it's gonna be really crappy because everyone's just there to take. But if you're giving your time, for your community, it's a long tail approach. You're gonna get that over a year.
Chamber of Commerce is a great example. The Chamber of Commerce, they don't send you a check. They don't send you customers. They don't send you anything. It provides a lot of beads.
Listen, Chris, you have to earn those beads.
Beads have value in Mobile, Alabama. The bigger the beads, the harder they throw.
I wonder what Chris's beads collection is like. He's probably
Chris has perfected the IDA committee meeting. You want me to tell you how?
Yeah, tell me.
So these committee meetings can get a little bit redundant.
Yeah.
This is probably not a good. I was working on Nick to get him in on our committee, but
Yeah.
Nick, Chris has perfected it in that he just sets his AI bot in the meeting.
Really?
It's Chris's AI bot.
Yeah.
And I guess it's taking notes. And we never see Chris.
Never see Chris. Oh,
we've seen him a few times.
You know what? Put him on blast, though. You know what? If he's going to get out of it what he wants to put into it, and if he's not even there,
Chris,
he's got to be failing as a company. They're doing something like that,
Katie, beads get you free donuts at Krispy Kreme. Holy crap! Wow,
yeah.
I didn't know that. I was not thinking donuts.
All our Krispy Kremes closed. I haven't had one since I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Krispy Kremes.
Oh, we lost you there. No, there you go. Look at Dustin. Why are we fiddling with the mic? Minute 35.
I don't know. There we go. Hang on.
Yeah, you should really be playing with the plugs,
All right, Brandon, you could tell that the IGL family was capable of being a true team last week. Amazing to see everyone communicate with each other effectively. Got shit done. Dude, that's the truth. Let me tell you something else that was really special to me is the meeting. I didn't even call them meetings. The hangout sessions that we had after the event at the house. Miss Vandy cooked dinner. These were the most casual, fun storytelling, sitting around, quality conversation. Just felt good, man.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
That's awesome. You know what I mean? But it starts there. It starts with that group because then that gets taken to the show. That gets taken and for the person that's there for their first time and never heard of IGL, the first thing you're going to feel is that. Instead of looking at the products, instead of looking, you guys had a lot. Those tables were full of amazing, amazing products.
Yeah, I mean, and just speaking to Brendan and his girlfriend, they did. They worked to help revamp the setup, the way the booth looks, and that was always Joel's job, was kind of to sort the product. But I'm telling you,
better now. It looks even better. Just Joel, I don't know what you were doing.
I didn't say it. But it looked excellent. It looked so inviting, and the team looked great. And then what was really cool is watching the APEAKS and IGL team merge together.
Yeah. And you know what? Mike had one job. You know what his one job was?
What?
The TV. You want to tell him about the TV?
And he broke the TV. Caveman ass broke our TV.
He's there walking in with the TV and a coffee and just
come on, dude. He pops up the tents and is like, I'm done. Oh man, but we had a great team, great crew, and MTE overall major success, loved it. Can't wait till next year, kind of thing. Taking a lot of the wins that we had at MTE, take them right into SEMA. But don't forget, SEMA Garage in March will be we're treating that as an event. It's not just a training. This thing's going to be an event. We got people coming in from all directions. Yeah. This thing's going to be big.
That's going to be fun. I'm going to see what I can do.
It's a mini SEMA at SEMA Garage.
At SEMA Garage. And again, just go into SEMA Garage. I've seen pictures. Dustin's told me how amazing it is. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
If I told Mike, I said, if we ever make it, bro, first check, you're not getting the little green Camaro or whatever the hell. We going to buy SEMA Garage.
Mike's spending time on Facebook Marketplace typing in green vehicle.
Green vehicles.
Anything that, and just, we should get this.
Yeah. No, man, SEMA Garage is so pretty, man. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
And we're going to have boats. We're going to
I'm going to challenge you. You know what? I will go to the SEMA Garage if you come out to see Splash.
Oh, I'll come up there on that trip. Yeah,
no, because it's only an hour away, right? So if you're making there and then you're driving back with me.
What I'll do is I'll come to you. We'll spend the day over there, and then we'll shoot across.
Done. You got a virtual agreement there.
Done.
Okay.
I mean, it was done in front of millions. It was done in front of millions of people.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's no way I could go back on this now.
We got plenty of room.
The backlash would be massive. So, anyways, great show, man. Great show as always. Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm excited next week. What the $1 million detail got wrong?
Since you'll be at Splash. What?
Oh no, I don't know what he was.
There's a ... Since you'll be at Splash. What? Do I need to do something?
That's so intimidating.
That's do you need pictures, Chris? Do we need something?
Terrible way.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that now I'm locking the doors tonight.
Oh man.
He knows where to find me.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay, man. Well, we'll leave it at that. Next week, yeah, we'll do the $1 million D-Shows on 16. Oh, well, okay.
Yeah,
we're coming there first. We're gonna make the rounds. We'll come.
Okay, okay. So what? You know what? We'll go visit Chris first.
Yeah, I'll come to you. We'll go visit
him. Nice steak dinner on Chris.
Absolutely, we will.
And then I'll treat you guys down here in Libertyville. So
sounds great.
Fun.
Sounds great. Brandon, happy Friday, brother. Love you, man. All right, great show.
Brandon didn't go. I'm just throw him right under the bus. I was sad. I thought he was coming out to MTE this year.
They was doing.
Talk about someone killing it. You know what I mean? Just credit to him.
Crushing it. Yeah. He had some really good reasons to not be there. So prayers to him and his family and all that. As they're dealing with some stuff going on. So.
Costing me
money. I'm out of here.
The only podcast that ends up costing someone money is this one.
We're an expense. We provide no value. We're only expense. We're the bookkeeper's worst nightmare. All right, man. See you next week.
Peace out.